Yeah, well, of course, everybody here in South Korea knows there is simply no option for conflict with the DPRK that doesn't lead to what would be, without doubt, the largest battle since the end of World War II. So there's a lot of caution here at the moment regarding the comments from the DPRK, also the movement of the Carl Vinson battle group into the waters close to the DPRK. What we've heard from some opposition politicians is an urging of caution, particularly about the battle group moving into those waters. But from most mainstream politicians, particularly from the ruling party, they are still supporting this movement, saying that the aggressive nuclear missile program by the DPRK warrants this. Now, it's worth noting this comes just after the meeting between Wu Dubai, China's envoy on all matters Korean, and his South Korean counterpart. Wu didn't give a comment after that meeting, but Kim, his South Korean counterpart, did. And he said on most matters, apart from the THAAD anti-missile defense system, that they were in agreement that the nuclear program needed to be halted and that perhaps tougher resolutions through the United Nations needed to be sought. And that's also what the US has been talking about. Worth noting that even with the deployment of this carrier group, the US is still talking about the need to denuclearize the Korean Peninsula, not regime change. So, without that kind of overt statement, it does appear that while there are differences on some key issues or approaches, there is more and more of a convergence between the United States, China, and South Korea on this issue, and that something does need to be done, though South Korea and China clearly not thinking of a military option there, but something does need to be done to halt this nuclear program.